Greetings, kindred spirits, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. And today we have very important discussion. And the reason why I state that this is very important is because for those of you who are going through spiritual awakening, it's going to include some self-healing, if not seeking therapy. Either way, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, a deep spiritual awakening, you're going to need either to know how to self-heal or seek out therapy with someone, anyone that offers holistic healing. Okay? And the reason why I say holistic healing, because in holistic healing, they're not out to heal you. They're out to assist you with teaching you how to self-heal. And then at some point, you let go of your therapist to proceed with your self-healing alone. Okay? So there's a difference. Because in certain medical situations, people become lenient, or what's the word, codependent on someone else to heal them for you. So what I want to do is give you some basic surface information about the services and the techniques and methodologies that I use and how it's being used, so you can understand how I operate. I'm not seeking out to heal you. When I say Anita the Healer, I am saying I am someone who healed myself, and I am offering up my time and knowledge and wisdom because knowledge and experience helps build wisdom. So you can't have knowledge alone. You can't have be hands-on alone. Okay? You have to have both to generate wisdom. So I'm offering up my wisdom to assist you and guide, support, help you to heal yourself. But yet, in order to do so, you got to be ready for this. Because sometimes people become irritated and frustrated. That's why I said, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, an enlightenment, whatever terminology you want to use, what you're going through spiritually, mentally and emotionally, because I want to include them all, and physically, because it's not just a spiritual thing, because it's having an effect on you mentally, emotionally, and for some people, or most people, physically. It can affect you physically. And when I say it can affect you physically, you might have certain symptoms that when you go to a doctor, they can't find anything. And it leaves you wondering, is this all in my head? No, baby, it's not all in your head. It's something going on with you. But we don't want to say it's a problem. So a lot of time when you're going through enlightenment and awakening, transitioning from one belief to another belief, it does have a toll on you emotionally, mentally, and physically. So sometimes you need guidance and assistance to get you started on what's next to do, or to just have clarity of what's going on. Okay? So I want to introduce to you something that I've studied, something that I was intuitively led to about 4 years ago. And I just settled myself down and readied myself to actually study and get a master's certification. Mind you, a lot of people put importance on titles, degrees, certifications, and all of this. So yeah, I delve into research because I want you to understand, even though I get channeling, intuitive information, either through meditation or in my dreams, I still do the physical research for those of you who cannot relate to meditation and being channeled or getting inspiration intuitively from other parallel dimensions, or what some people call the spirit world or the spirit dimension, or whatever you want to, or from spirits, ancestors who have crossed over into the spirit world. So I want to be able to relate to you as a human, as well as someone who is going through an awakening or an enlightenment. Whatever terminology you use, because terminologies isn't important. And the reason why I say terminology isn't important on a general scale, no. Importantly is that you have walked a path where you realize that the beliefs you grew up with is no longer needed for what you're about to embark on, or what you are embarking on your path to an enlightenment and spiritual awakening. So I come in as a counselor, mentor, life coach to guide you towards eliminating limited beliefs that have been influenced and programmed upon your thinking and how you feel. Okay? So this study that I embarked upon 4 years ago, that I really took my time to do more research and get certified within it, is called NLP, which are initials for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is a subtitle, or what they may call ecology, which is a subscience of psychology. And I got my notes here, and I want to kind of give you the history of it and how it began. Now, I said that NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, got its start with students, but spiritually, intuitively, mentally, emotionally, it got its start long before that. People were becoming aware of their thinking and how they feel, and needing to eliminate limiting beliefs long before that. They just, in 1970, decided to do more research and put a label on it. So, in regards to how they define neuro-linguistic programming, let me break it down to you so you can get clarity in where they are, these professors were going with this, okay? Because there were people, whether you're a mentor, someone who has a title, a licensed degree, or a life coach, or a regular person, they realized people were getting results. So what they did was they wanted to organize these results in a holistic manner, okay? And the reason why I say it like this is because psychology is accepted in universities and in the mainstream let's say, mainstream life, mainstream media, okay? Because psychologists, psychiatrists are people who are, well, let me not say psychologists. Psychiatrists are people who are able to prescribe medications for those who are what they think are having mental breakdowns, emotional breakdowns, or what they might call mental emotional diseases. Diseases. Whereas allows you to approach certain issues that you're having with a more organic or holistic methodology or technique, okay? Okay? So that's neuro linguistic programming, just so you have an idea of why they considered it that, all right? And why they use those initials. Let me give you some practical examples of NLP, and they are and that's just a few that I gave you. The list may go on, okay? Because these are things, neurolinguistic programming allow you to use this in everyday life, no matter what area it is in your life, okay? So, again, as I stated, there's no need for prescriptions and medication because neurolinguistic programming uses techniques and methodologies. Dealing with stress and a trauma that started me on, let's say, a lot of stuff surfacing and a deeper awakening. Some may call it the dark night of the soul. It allows you to go deeper to resolve certain issues of influences and programming that you have experienced in your life. And the reason why I say a deeper analysis of your resolutions to your problems is because when you're going through spiritual awakenings and enlightenment that involve traumas, and the reason why I say you might even think, gosh, spiritual awakening and enlightenment can be very problematic and can be very stressful. To some degree, it can. To some people, they go through a spiritual awakening very smoothly and don't have to go through all of that because sometimes their system, mental, and emotional makeup may not allow them to be overwhelmed with that stress. But some people can handle it. Some people need it. And to some degree, it's needed for you to really be able to open up and relate to another person or persons in life. so that you may put yourself in a position of leadership, mentorship, guidance, counselor, to be able to help another person out of their situations or persons. Okay? So we all have a mission in life. And this mission is leading towards change on a global scale. So each one teach one. All right? So experiencing some traumas will sometimes awaken you to self-healing, or what some people call becoming the wounded healer. All right? So just to be brief with what I am sharing with you, all right? So they do have a study, neurolinguistic programming, which is more holistic in nature, even though we consider it a sub-science of psychology. And in my opinion, okay, from my analysis and research, it bluntly states to me that psychology, those who study psychology in the universities usually study it in a form of knowledge-wise gathering this information from books and not based on experiences. Because I have come to know that some people study NLP just the book information so that they can utilize it in their books to help them be better writers and to introduce the information through writing about it. Myself, I utilize the methods and technique personally to help get me through and break through barriers of traumas that I've experienced and limited beliefs I had grew up from being influenced and programmed. You feel, you understand, you hear me, do you see me? All right? And this touches on, like I said, it does involve the five senses, your gut feelings, and your intuition. So these are things that you might even say you can relate to spiritually, outer dimensionally, from another dimensional level. Whatever terminology you use, because the terminology that's being used, that you use, is for each and every individual on an individual basis. So don't let someone tell you, oh, that's not the correct term. You utilize whatever term that suits you, that's going to help you release your limiting beliefs so that you may tap into your authentic self or your true self, so you can be the best of you. And this technique that I use can be used in any area of your life to help improve you. So you can take off the mask that you were taught to put on. And that mask may be influences that you were taught when you were a child, in hopes that you will be guided in a way that will help you stay in tune with your authenticity. And sometimes what happens when we seek guidance from others, they will use influences and programming that they were taught and teach them to us. And then once we grow up, we start to feel, think, and sense, this is not me. And I'm speaking only to those individuals who are awakening to that reality, that something about what you were taught or programmed to think and be and see is no longer sufficient for you. It no longer agrees with your soul. So this is why I am here right now, giving you my analysis from my research and my experiences, as well as my knowledge, my wisdom. And it's not to say that you're going to agree with me now. It's just basically to plant a seed. I am not trying to force what I know on you. But if this seed is meant for you, it will burst open and grow. And just because I am giving it to you in my linguistic format does not mean that you're going to speak the same language. It may be similar, and it may be relatable to how I have planted the seed, but you may take that seed and it may grow and take you deeper and further into your growth and development, to release anything that has limited you from your growth, to knowing who you truly are and your purpose in life. In no way am I forcing who I am on you. All I want you to understand is, on my path of getting to know who I am, it opened me up to the realization that how I process information through my mental process and emotional process has taught me to accept others and how they mentally and emotionally process their own information to come about what they perceive in their perceptions of their own world. So it helps me to understand another person and to accept them fully for who they are as a different being. And it also helped me to realize that the spirit being within them is a portion of the connection that we have spiritually in this world. That all spirits come with a different formula that makes up their characteristics, personality, talents, and gifts, and how they express them. So that individual will come at me and express themselves differently, meaning my likes and dislikes may not agree with their likes and dislikes. And sometimes we get so caught up in, I like this in life, and because you don't like it, I don't like you. It helps you see that as petty. So with self-healing and whatever methodology or technique you use to ground yourself here in the presence, as well as in your originality, authentic self, and why you're here and what you're here to be, you have come here as, I want to say, like me, as I have come here with a mission, you have come here with a mission and a purpose. My mission and purpose is to help you heal Not me heal you, but to help you get the tools and techniques, methodologies to heal yourself so you can go back to when you was first born, to remember why you came into this human experience, to exist, to express yourself authentically as a part of another connected soul spirit to the other collectives, to other beings who are here with a purpose. And once you understand your purpose, your reasons for being here, you come to not judge another harshly, but to put yourselves in their shoes or in their mind, to really listen, not just hear them, but to really listen, empathize, and sympathize through their perceptions. So then you can agree to disagree. You may not like everything that they do, that they are, and how they look, but you have accepted who they are, what they like, how they look, because you know that everyone is not going to be born into this world looking like you, sounding like you, dressing like you, acting like you, have jokes like you, processes information that they see outside of themselves like you. It helps you to understand that when a person speaks their factual truth, you put yourself in their mindset to understand why they think that way. And even if they're not on a level of processing that you are, it's not about being who you are, but accepting them at whatever stage in life they are in. It's not to say that you're at a higher level or they're at a lower level. It's just that they're at a level of inner understanding where they are. And when they come to a reality to where you are, and you're no longer thinking along the lines that they are, you can accept where they are. It's not saying you're dumbing down to where they are, but be able to relate to where they are. And if there is a need and they're willing to accept what you have to offer them in their process of growth and development, then you give it like you give to them, to those who are in need of the food. But they got to be ready and wanting what you have to feed them. It can't be forced. Nothing can be forced on anyone, because we're under the mindset or belief that we can control another when we cannot. Everyone is a government of themselves. And it's about governing yourself in a way where you do not disrespect another person's boundaries. Everybody has boundaries. And if they don't, they have to come to that realization. They need boundaries so they can get the respect and love they desire. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, my kindred spirits, fam, I'm going to end it right here. And if you need my assistance, guidance, help, or support, I encourage you to reach out to me when you're ready for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Only when you're hungry. And I mean starving hungry. Because if you're just hungry, you're not going to eat all your food. You're just going to eat enough to satisfy you. And then throw the rest in the garbage. And we don't like to waste good food. So I'd rather you come starving. Okay? So when I serve this plate of food, it's just going to be a balanced, harmonized meal for the soul, for the mind, the mental states, your feelings, your heart, your emotional states, your soul, your spirit, your spiritual states, your body, your physical state, your culture, your environment, to be utilized in your community. I know that you're going to eat it all up, and you're not going to leave a speck or crumb on your plate. So again, I insist, when I ring that lunch, breakfast, or dinner bell, don't waste my time nor my food, because it's like a precious jewel. And I would like to feel, see, and think so. Whether you agree with that or not, only those who are in need will seek me out. And it's okay. You do not agree with who I am, why I am, how I am, when I am, where I am. It's only for those who need it and need at that time. And it doesn't specifically have to be me, because there are others who are on the same path similar to mine that you may come in contact with. So if you're not able to partake in my services, my meal, there are others who are on the same path, if not similar. But I say in encouraging words, be careful whose food you eat, because it may not be pleasant on the belly and may cause a virus and a dis-ease within you. Okay? Make sure it's organic, holistic, natural. Because, people, when you walk with me, it's going to be a long walk on a short journey towards your own self-healing. I greet you only in peace, and I leave you with pieces for your growth and development.
Get up! He's pumping me against the wall. Yeah, I know I let you down before. Hey, but until you see me, trust me. He's pumping me against the wall. Yeah, I know I let you down before. But until you see me, trust me. Get down, brother. No matter what happens, that's only one. Shame on you. You come up in here and do it again, and it's shame on me. Sometimes we get told we didn't want to learn. Sometimes we get told we ain't gonna see. I can tell my wins like the way that I feel. I know I think I'm tired of it under my belt. I learn from you just like you learn from me. I bleed, I pray for peace first on me. Somebody said, ooh, you better keep on rapping. Stop that tripping, ain't gonna happen. I told them, look, find your friends, change your way of thinking, keep on listening. They thought I was trouble, been out this. Stuff inside, yeah, what, in.